Alaskan Bush People, new episode, tomorrow night at 9, only on Discovery.
Bear Brown was a famous person on a TV show called Alaskan Bush People. This show was about a family who lived in the wild parts of Alaska without any modern things like electricity or stores. Bear was born on June 10, 1987, and his real name was Solomon Isaiah Freedom Brown. His parents were Billy and Amy Brown, and he had many brothers and sisters. Bear was special on the TV show because he was always doing crazy and dangerous things. He would climb big rocks without safety ropes, swim in very cold water, and walk through dark forests at night. People watching the show loved him because he was so brave and wild. He called himself the King of Extreme, which means he liked doing the most dangerous things possible. The TV show started in 2014 and became very popular. Millions of people watched it every week. Bear was in more than 120 episodes, and each episode was about 20 to 40 minutes long. He was like the star of the show because he did all the exciting stuff that made people want to keep watching. But even though Bear looked happy and strong on TV, things were different in real life. Sometimes he would get angry with the people who made the TV show. He felt like they were controlling him too much and not letting him be himself. In some videos he made online, he said that real life was very different from what people saw on TV. In 2018, Bear met a woman named Raven Adams. She was not from the wilderness like Bear's family. She was from the normal world, with houses and cars and stores. They fell in love and got engaged in 2019, which means they promised to get married. They had some problems and broke up for a little while, but then they got back together. In March 2020, Bear and Raven had their first baby, a boy named River Anthony Brown. Bear loved his son very much and would post pictures of him on Instagram, which is like an online photo album. He had over 379,000 people following his pictures. Bear would show River playing outside, helping with work, and walking in the forest with him. In January 2022, Bear and Raven got married. They had a small wedding with Bear's family there. Bear was very happy and said it was the beginning of the real family he always wanted. Many fans were happy for him because they thought he was finally settling down and becoming more mature. But then something very bad happened that changed everything. On March 11, 2022, the police came to Bear's house because Raven called them. She said that Bear had hurt her during a fight. According to what the police wrote down, Bear and Raven were arguing about a phone and some private information. During the fight, Bear grabbed the phone away from Raven, pushed her onto the bed, and wouldn't let her leave the room. A neighbor heard the loud noises and came over to see what was wrong. This neighbor knew Bear's family and wanted to help. But when the neighbor knocked on the door, Bear opened it and pushed him down the steps outside. The neighbor got hurt with scrapes on his shoulder and a bruise on his head from hitting the door. The police arrested Bear that night and put him in jail. He was charged with 2 crimes, hurting his wife and hurting the neighbor. This was very serious because Bear had never been in trouble with the police before. A few months later, there was a court hearing where everyone had to tell their side of the story. Raven came to court and explained what happened. She said she wasn't trying to get Bear in big trouble, but she wanted to make sure she and their children would be safe. She said there had been other problems before, but this was the worst one. Bear's lawyer said that Bear didn't mean to hurt anyone and that he was just very stressed out. The lawyer said Bear had never been violent before and that this was just one bad day. The court looked at all the evidence and decided that Bear didn't have to go to prison, but he had to do some things to make up for what he did. He had to go to anger management classes to learn how to control his temper better, and he had to stay away from Raven if they had any more fights. After this happened, everything changed for Bear. The TV show stopped putting him in episodes. Even though they had already filmed some shows with him in them, they edited him out so people wouldn't see him. The Discovery Channel, which made the show, stopped using his pictures to advertise the show. It was like they were trying to pretend he was never part of the show at all. People on the internet had very different opinions about what happened. Some people still supported Bear and said he was trying to be a good father. They thought everyone makes mistakes and that he should get another chance. But other people were very angry with him. They said he shouldn't be on TV anymore because he hurt his wife and neighbor. They wrote mean comments on his social media pages and said he should apologize for what he did. Some people made videos on YouTube and TikTok talking about what Bear did wrong. One video got over 600,000 views, and many people shared it. The phrase Bear Brown assault became something people searched for online. Many fans who used to love the show were very disappointed and didn't want to watch it anymore. By 2024, the whole TV show was canceled. This wasn't just because of Bear's problems, but many people think his troubles were part of the reason. The show had been on TV for many years and was very popular, but now it was gone forever. Today, Bear lives with his family in the mountains of Washington state. He stays with his brother Gabe in a small wooden cabin in the forest. Bear and Raven have had 2 more children since their first son, River. Their second son, Cove Gabriel Caden Brown, was born in January 2023. He was born early, but became healthy. Their third son, Everest My Joshua Brown, was born in August 2024. Bear still posts pictures on Instagram sometimes, but not as much as he used to. Most of his pictures now are of his 3 sons playing, camping, or spending time together. He doesn't talk about the past or respond to people who ask him questions about what happened. He has become very quiet about his personal life. In his posts, Bear talks about wanting to move back to Alaska someday and buy some land where his children can grow up like he did. He wants them to know what it's like to live in the wilderness. But he never mentions the TV show or his legal troubles. Bear is not in jail, and he's not on probation, which means the court isn't watching him anymore. But even though he's legally free, he can't go back to being on TV. No TV company wants to hire him because of what happened. It's like he's been erased from the entertainment world. Some people think this punishment is fair because he hurt people and should face consequences. Other people think he's paid his price and should be given another chance, especially since he's trying to be a good father to his children. The debate about whether Bear deserves forgiveness or should stay out of the public eye continues. Bear's story shows how quickly someone's life can change. He went from being a famous TV star that millions of people loved to someone who lost everything because of one bad day. He made serious mistakes that hurt the people closest to him, and now he has to live with those consequences. Today, Bear Brown is just a regular man living quietly with his 3 sons in the mountains. He's no longer the wild, exciting person people saw on TV. Instead, he's focused on being a father and trying to rebuild his life away from cameras and fame. Whether he'll ever get another chance in the public eye or will remain in the shadows forever, only time will tell.